Hello, everybody, and welcome to the This Week in the Hello, everybody, and welcome to the This Week in the TechBoy podcast. So much has happened this week. The full specs of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge have leaked. A new iPhone was released, and this might be Apple's worst ever iPhone. It's totally disgraceful. And we also have some new AI advancements coming out. So let's talk about the iPhone 16e. This is from TheTechBoy.org. The iPhone 16e is disgraceful, and disgraceful is what you have to the word you have to use to describe this absolute money grab of a phone. Now, as you guys know, I'm pro capitalism, right? I don't really like the term money grab as they use it in things talking about like microtransactions, etc., etc. But I mean, this is disgraceful. Let's look at this phone from Apple, okay? And I went to the Apple store and tried to check it out, but they didn't have it in store yet when it came out over the week. But here is the phone right here, and you say, okay, this looks great. It looks like an iPhone 8, and then on the back, an iPhone 13 mini on the front, 6.1 inch screen, so obviously not a mini display. It also does have, I just noticing this, it does have the button, the action button there as well. So you might be thinking, okay, this look, it's Apple's last phone with the notch. This picture doesn't show it, but there is no home button. That would be kind of weird to have a notch and a home button. So what's the price? $599 for one camera phone. I mean, in this day and age, you can't even find a $200 phone with at least with one camera anymore. I mean, they will have at least two cameras, right? And I know like those cameras aren't going to be any good, but it's the principle of the thing. This thing retails for $600, right? In 2019, the Google Pixel 3a did not even retail for that, and they had a one camera. And then that was the last one camera phone that really was popular. Now, Apple is the only company that could make this device. Let's get into it. So it has the A18 chip and a quote unquote 48 megapixel camera. And that's nice. And they try to sell that as 2-in-1. But as I said on a podcast episode a few months ago, look, Apple needs to learn how to count. One camera is still one camera. It doesn't matter how the zoom the zoom is 48 and that crops down to 12. If you say that's a quote unquote lossless 12 megapixel 2x zoom, that doesn't count because anyone can say that. Samsung could say, well, I think the camera sizes should be 1 megapixel instead of 12, and they can say, well, look, 12 megapixels, since you can actually zoom in 6 times losslessly, or however the math would crop out, right? If you can arbitrarily pick a megapixel count that says that's quote unquote lossless, then any company could play with the numbers, put some huge megapixel camera on the back of their phone, and then say, hey guys, we have this great zoom technology when it's just zoom, right? And don't get me twisted, I will criticize Samsung on this as well. In fact, S25 Edge, which I don't understand why it exists, but at least it's not being pushed as like this mainstream phone that's supposed to be upgrading from users iPhone 11s and 12s, etc. I know this phone's going to be extremely popular with teens. The S25 Edge is going to be more of an experimental, let's see how thing we can do, etc. phone, right? This is not an experimental phone except for the new modem, but this is supposed to be a phone meant for the masses of people to use, right? And the design, I actually think it looks good, but it should have at least two cameras, especially since there's no way that they can replicate a wide-angle camera on here unless they just call it a wide-angle camera. And Apple can say that one camera is actually three cameras, which then again, you get into that same problem. You can be like, oh, it's wide-angle, you can zoom in just a little bit. There it is, normal, then zoom in just a little bit more. It's a 2 times camera, right there, all in one. No, that's not how this works. It does have Apple Intelligence, which has been a dud thus far. I can't believe that Apple put out in the year of our Lord 2025 a 48 megapixel camera and tried to pass it off as dual cameras. I can't believe they don't even have dual cameras on this phone. No of the Android phone doesn't even have dual cameras. But let's go look at the Pixel 8a, which retails for about $150 less. That's brand new. AA, of course. You can probably find it cheaper. Now, actually, here it is in the Google Store, $399 on the Google Store. So it's even $200 cheaper than this phone. As of now, this is the Google Pixel 8a here in the green. They took off $100 for it, $399. It has actually great colors. It's not flat. It has a full edge-to-edge display. It's gonna have a better edge-to-edge display. Screen is gonna get some great AI features in here, and honestly, the Pixel 8a is gonna be a lot better than whatever trash you're getting from Apple here. Let's move on to the next thing that they have here, the price. They sell this phone for $899 United States dollars if you get the 512 gigabyte version. That's criminal. That should literally be a felony. Okay, you should not be allowed to sell a phone with one camera in the year 2025 for $900. $900 when it is literally less and worse in every aspect of the way. It is literally worse in every aspect than the regular iPhone 16. Why? Except for battery somehow. But I don't understand how it has 4 hours more battery. So I'd have to see some tests on that. It lacks a dual camera, so you're not even going to get that cheap Apple Vision Pro support for the 2 people who have Apple Vision Pros and iPhone 16s and not 16 Pros. It lacks MagSafe. It lacks Touch ID. Who is this for? If this was the SE4, right? They called it the 16E for some reason. If this was the SE4 and it had a home button, then we can say yes, this is for like older people who like using the home button. No, the home button wasn't even that intuitive. I liked, multiple buttons on Android phones for the longest. But who is this for? You have much better, cheaper phones with the same or same-ish processor, okay? iPhone 15 Pro, I believe. I think it has the same processor as the iPhone 16e. We have better cameras, better screen. It's going to be 120 hertz versus 60 hertz. And at the same price. And it's going to get the same amount of software stability. This phone's not going to have any special new features. It's just a testing ground for Apple's new modem. Because, why? I mean, you know that this is going to be one of the most popular phones. It's going to be just like the 6S was popular, just like the 10R was popular, just like the iPhone 10 was also kind of a bit popular. And then you have all the teens with iPhone 12s, and 13s with the diagonal wide-angle cameras. Why, Apple? Why? It absolutely makes 0 sense. And these teams are going to be trying to upgrade to this when it is quite literally a downgrade. In fact, the last phone that it could be a pure upgrade from would be the iPhone 10, which had dual cameras, lost at $1,000, had a dual telephoto 2 times, and just a regular camera. Now, if you were to move to this phone, you get a better processor, you get a smaller notch, and you would get that quote-unquote zoom feature, which might be better than some of the older lenses. I mean, that phone is 8 years old right now. So, which is also kind of wild. Think about it. The iPhone 10 is 8 years old by now, and we're basically using the same design language and have the same applications. So basically, no development has been done hardware-wise, or at least for applications to take advantage of that hardware, than, say, the iPhone 10. Anyway, let's say you have an iPhone 11, 2019 release. Obviously, this would be an upgrade from the 10R, which only had one camera. But that did retail for $750 when $750 was seen as cheap. Right? It had the all-new design. Right? It was actually something you could go for. It had fun colors, all-new design. It was a lot less expensive than the 10. And also it was 2018, I believe. Right, so not having a dual camera would have been fine. I mean, let's look at Samsung. Samsung Galaxy S8 only had one camera back in 2017. Right, they added dual cameras to the S9 Plus. Right, S9 didn't have dual cameras, so I mean, it was right for the time. But now, no. I mean, it is basically law that your smartphone has to have at least dual cameras. And so when you talk about the iPhone 11, came out 2019. That was last decade, by the way. iPhone 11 and 12, right? From the iPhone 11, you'd be getting a 5G upgrade, but you'd be losing your wide-angle camera, which I saw a poll in like 2019 that said people care more about the wide-angle camera than telephoto zoom. Also, teens for some reason like to take wide-angle pictures of their tongues and like stick their phones in their mouths. So, while it is technologically a downgrade, and they won't be able to take those wide-angle photos, maybe this will prevent them from sticking their phones in their mouth and sticking their tongues on or whatever. So, maybe that is a good effect of societal change that Apple has unintentionally done. But it is not Apple's job to do societal teen change, right? That's my job. So I'm not going to give any extra credit points to Apple for removing a feature like this. Speaking of removing features, Samsung has removed the fat from the Galaxy S25 Edge phones. The S25 Edge phones have leaked. Someone went hands-on with the Galaxy S25 Edge. Hope you can see this on the screen. It does remind me of the iPhone 16e. If the pricing was a little bit lower on the 16A, maybe $499 max, and didn't have a $900 version, and maybe if we had some more fun colors, and if they didn't try to pass off that camera as two, maybe it would be a good buy. Maybe if they branded it as an SE, instead of trying to put it in with the iPhone 16 line. Naming is very, very important in cell phones, right? When Samsung cut the A7 line and basically turned that into the S20 something FE line, that's important, at least to me. Naming things is important, right? The lineup that it's in, because it basically makes that lineup a bit more viable. We can say it's a flagship, right? Anyway, we're getting a bit off track here. In the old days, the A series, when I first got into tech, just before I started this website, 2019, 2020 was when the website was started. The A series was used for their old. Sorry, the A series was used for developing new technologies, right? So the Galaxy A80 had this little neat flip up camera that I guess I didn't like it because you haven't seen it on any Samsung S phones, right? The Galaxy A5 and A7, no zero, just A5 and A7, had these neat metal body designs and even had some S8, S9, S looking cameras and had some same design as that, but had a metal design, including a metal back, right? That was different from the Samsung phones at the time, which used glass back metal frames. Still do that too today, right? So back then, the Galaxy A series was used for developing new technology and testing it out, seeing how it feels. Right now, it's used as their budget line. Samsung had their J series line of budget phones. I had like that for 2 weeks and returned it back in 2019. No, 18, 17, whatever. Anyway, have these J series phones. They took these phones and they merged them with the A line, and now you got the A01, A02 lines, etc. So now Samsung's A line is not its innovation line anymore. It's its budget to mid-range smartphone line, and it's a pretty good line, right? The sad thing is Samsung doesn't have their innovative non-flagship, innovative flagship-esque phones now, which is why the S25 Edge is interesting. Because S25 Edge is going to retail for $1,000, right? So I wouldn't recommend that you're going to buy this, but it's trying to see what it can do with new types of camera technology. Notice it still has two cameras on here, so it does not have zoom, right? But its megapixel count is a lot higher than Apple's 200. But if Samsung tries to say, well, technically after zoom, they haven't done the meetings out yet. The release hasn't been released yet, so I can't criticize them for that yet. If they try to say that the 200 megapixel camera is technically a zoom camera, I'm going to criticize them on that because it's not. Like the reason we know it's not is because my phone here has a 200 megapixel camera, S24 Ultra, and it still has not one but two physical zoom cameras. Right? If this technology was good enough, then they'd cut those and make these phones even skinnier. And that's what they're trying to see here, right? Now I don't understand why, and I wish it had an edge screen like all the Edge phones used to have. The Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge had a curved edge screen, a prominent curved edge, if I remember correctly. Of course, the Galaxy Note 4 Edge, I think that's the most interesting Edge phone. It had a really prominent curved edge and a removable back, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Let me check if the Note 4 Edge has a removable battery. I think it did, but it only had a edge on one part of the screen. So that was interesting. But here we have the Galaxy S25 Edge, and the only reason it's called an Edge is not because of a curved screen. Samsung phased that out with the S24 series, unfortunately. I think that's sad, and I think let's bring it back. But because of how skinny it is, and to meet those thinness requirements, I had to axe the zoom camera, right? Here we go. So this is what it looks like. This is from Max John Boy. I guess he got hands-on with it. And he's comparing it here to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. So it's as skinny as it is unfolded, which is really interesting. It's quite Bixby. Notice the power keys and placements are remarkably similar. So this is the power key of the S25 Edge here, and that's the finger which kind of the S25. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 here, which is also a power button. If you were to move these phones down, I think that would be useful there, and you have also the same volume icons, volume rockers. Now, one thing I am noticing here, let me see if my phone has this so I don't sound stupid. Oh no, it does have those antenna bands, but this phone has those antenna bands up towards the camera, and it also has a more curved off design than my S25 for Ultra. Here's another picture. Now, here are some of the specifications of the phone. He went hands-on with it. It looks like it's in Spanish, but it's just specs so you can read this. So it looks like it has 12 gigabytes of RAM. Also, look at that nice, might be OnePlus or Oppo phone in the background that he's taking the photo with. Anyway, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 10.86 usable at this time. About 256 gigabytes of storage. I'm not sure that Samsung would sell a phone with 220 gigabytes of storage. Bluetooth 5.4. A 4,000 milliamp hour battery. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. So essentially, it's a really, really skinny phone, and I'm not sure how well this is going to sell. Right. If it sells well, then maybe Samsung will innovate the technology and place it into the regular Galaxy S26 7 series of devices. But I'm not really sure why Samsung is doing this. I think they should try to have their own line of weird and wacky phones. So maybe 1 year to make a keyboard phone, another year they try to make the skinniest phone possible. Every another year to make a phone like the LG Wing. We need some more of that innovation of that again. But they probably shouldn't put it in with the S25, series. Also, it's gonna be really kind of hard to advertise or market this phone, right? Other than it's the skinniest phone in the air, in the world. So yeah, that that is what this phone can do. Maybe we can see a camera test between it and the S25 Plus, and of course the iPhone 16e, right? Which is just absolutely idiotic, and I don't understand why it even exists. And I probably think it's going to sell well. So yeah, absolute money grab there from Apple. All right, we have lots of things to talk about today. So I got my One UI 7 update on this phone here. Let's talk about what is new. So I can finally record log video on here, not like I've ever wanted to, but I can do that. So in order to do that, you have to go into your camera. You have to go into Pro mode. Here, what's this? Oh, this is your face filters. Before we get to that, speaking of filters, there's this new artificial intelligence feature, and this feature was already present in Samsung, so I think it's just building on top of it. You could always make your own filters. Sorry, inside of Samsung. Oh, brought back camera profiles, or is that still there? Anyway, you can always build your own filters inside of Samsung devices, but this is an artificial intelligence one. So what you have to do is you go into here, you take your picture that you can use as a filter. So I'm going to take a picture of this Pescu radio. All right, so I take a picture of it. What you go is you touch the filter icon. There's your One UI 7 one over. It says it's towards the bottom of the screen. You touch this little icon there that you can see. Hopefully you can see it on the screen there. And you pick your photo. So I'm going to pick my photo, and it's using artificial intelligence to somehow make the filter. I'm not really sure how this is different. You can turn any photo into a filter, but we'll see. You click create, you click done, and then it will tell you the color strength and contrast of the image that you are seeing. Now, one thing I have noticed is that even when it is brighter in this room, the walls in here are textured, right? And sometimes when recording video, Samsung misses this. So I don't know. Maybe the S24 Ultra camera isn't as good as we once thought it was. But anyway, it's called Filter 5 because I did 4 of these somehow. It gives me a strength, color, temperature, contrast, saturation, and film grain of the photo. Now, this might be interesting because if you have an actual photo, let's try this on a black and white. Let's see if I can find a black and white photo. Because I think I can see where this feature is trying to go. What it's going to do is trying to extract essence of said photo. So this might be better if you have like a yearbook or something, or a photo, like a really old photo, and you want to replicate that style. Mr. Who's the Boss or Mr. Mobile is always talking about how he likes the Leica styles of of like those old cameras, and how he likes how some of the Chinese brands, like I think it's Xiaomi, has a partnership with them. I think this is a way Samsung has smartly figured out to bypass those partnerships. All you have to do is find a photo taken with that camera, and it will kind of emulate that photographic style with artificial intelligence. So let's see. Here on the screen, I have a photo of a black and white flower. So I hope you guys can see this. Here we go. We have a black and white flower here. I'm going to take a photo here. I want to see how well it does. And maybe you could use this on old family photos that have a bit more grain in them, that were taken with, an actual black and white camera, maybe some like from the 60s and 70s or 50s or whatever. So I've cropped into it. Now, the problem with this is that the photo is kind of like, if you zoom in, you can see the lines from the pixels in the screen. So the smart thing to do would probably be to download the photo. But, I'm just going to do this live. And I'm going to make my photo. I'm going to click it in again. I have my photo. And I'm going to see if it turns whatever I'm taking a picture of to black and white. Oh, it did. It did. Okay, so I'm going to click create. And I made it, so it's strong. And you can even view the original. So what it has done here is it kind of focuses the light around. So I'm going to take a picture there, and these will be up online for you guys to see. It has less film grain. So I'm going to actually go and download a picture of film grain. Film grain. I'm going to see if I can find an image. Okay, I found some image of a photo with film grain. It's just totally grainy. I want to see how much, like what it's doing here. And for reference, this is the image that I took from the black and white. You can notice it even records in motion photos as well. Oh, that's even neater. So when you're recording the motion photo, I clicked show original while taking the picture, so I can see what the original would look like if it was like in regular color, compared to the black and white aesthetic that I have here. And you can even see it animate. So notice how it's in black and white. Now it goes from black to white to black to white, and black to white means black in color. Sorry. So I'm gonna try another photo. Oh, it's still in that mode. So I'm gonna take it out. I'm going to use my film grain photo. And let's see what the AI says. So it's saying it's not as grainy as it was. But if I take my photo, oh, you can actually edit the amount of strength of the filter. It's not telling you how much strength is in it. Sorry. So I was wondering why it was allowing you to touch it like that. Okay, great. You touch again. Go up to my filters. I can't edit the color temperature, but I can edit the contrast. I'm just gonna pick normal. Okay, film grain. So I can add a lot more grain. I added the most grain possible. It's pretty grainy. Nice. All right, so this seems to be a nice feature. I like to see if it works online or offline. I'm not sure. Hopefully it works offline. It'd be kind of sad if your camera filters had to work online. The other updates I saw some Galaxy AI update where it could turn something into a table, but I can't seem to get it back working again. It's more of a bug patch as well. So there's that. So it's overall brought some interesting features to the device. First and foremost, that camera features, the camera thing. When you are editing photos, you still have your Galaxy AI on here. It's not like what was with the Galaxy S25, which I went hands-on with. I will post that video shortly. But the Galaxy AI icon is still the same. It's not as different as the other Galaxy AI stuff that's out there. So hopefully when you get the full update, you'll get even the full Galaxy AI updates with it as well. All right. Galaxy AI is one of the most important things that Samsung, I believe, has done. It allows you to, have software that that works well. Let's see if I can find the clip of. Oh, here it is. Uh, okay, Yeah, so anyway, Galaxy Eye is one of the most important things that Samsung, I think, has done. But I wish some of it worked offline. But I do think some of the features are really useful, like the text summary editing feature. I use that all the time, especially when I write my articles, or even when I go into ChatGPT or Grok or anything. But sometimes we have to talk about this stupid internet trend. So let's face this. Let me mute this video to Russia. No, okay. Okay, so this is from a X account called Radio Genoa, with the caption, "What's stopping you from moving to Moscow?" All right, let's go. Play the video. Okay, you get the gist. I'm not gonna sit here and watch people walk for a minute and 17 seconds. Right? Whoop de freaking do! What kind of argument is this even? And then there's this absolutely ridiculous trend online, especially when we turn. I'm gonna rewind back to the first video. Wow, guys, in Russia, and apparently this is in Moscow, Russia, the capital city, women exist. Can you believe it? Can you believe that women exist in Russia? I mean, this is mind-boggling, shocking even. And she's even carrying a phone. I can unequivocally state that women exist in every country, in every continent on Earth except for Antarctica. Women have stepped foot in every continent, in every country. Congratulations, women exist in Russia. Okay. And it, what do you mean what's stopping me from moving to Moscow or Russia or whatever? Okay, I'll tell you what's stopping me. Okay, I can guarantee you that whoever posted this isn't in Russia himself. Right? He didn't get this video himself. He's not on the ground reporting, like CNN or something. No. Okay, let me break this down for you. Nobody wants to live in a freezing cold dictatorship because people there, half the population's women. Yes. Okay. Look, Russia is a freezing cold dictatorship. Look, if it was a nice tropical dictatorship, then maybe people would move. Oh wait, no one's moving to Cuba. So yeah, point disproven. No one likes to move to post-communist dictatorships, and on top of that, post-communist dictatorships where it's negative 20 degrees outside. Okay, this video was probably taken in the summer because they're not wearing coats and I can see their legs. Okay, if this was taken in the winter, then it's frozen. And let's say you have an election there and you run against the president. Well, you might fall out a window or get poisoned or your plane crashes. What is you people's obsession with Russia? As it is in the SSA LTW book, where President Allison accuses Ethan Shea of blonde laundering and favoring blonde people. Right? And then Ethan Shea retorts back and says it's ridiculous and gets on the Sydney Stanley show. I mean, is he not literally blonde laundering? Is he not literally standing? And I'm assuming this is an American account. So quite literally, he has proven that crushes are literally a threat to national security by literally standing for Russia and saying that apparently women exist. And I'm going to assume from the premise of this entire video that he thinks that they're pretty. So let's just go with that. I mean, has this guy never, ever used Instagram a day in his freaking life? Okay, it's not like he's gonna meet them. Okay, you can't even see their faces. How are you supposed to know who these people are? And for crying out loud, they probably don't even speak English. Okay, let me break this down to you. You know why Russia is the largest country on Earth, and yet it's not even top 3 in population? Because it's an ice cold dictatorship that no one wants to live in. Anyway, even if there are women in Russia, okay, we have 191 other countries, or whatever, that this guy could go to. In fact, his home country of the United States also has women. Shocker, I know. In fact, we we even have the benefit of this. We don't throw our political opponents out of windows. Again, shocker. So, we're just better than Russia. So, that's what's stopping me from visiting. But it's this entire trend of like, wow, a woman exists. And wow, you think she's pretty. So apparently every other value, like democracy, freedom, patriotism, goes out the window because women walk down the street in Russia from some random TikToker person was there. Let's see who. Wow, people. A crop top and a skirt. Mm, groundbreaking. It's not like, you know, you this exists in America. It's not like this is some wild Russian fashion trend. Okay? And I can assure you that the United States has more women than people in Russia combined. So, which is better. All right. That's my rant for today about, dating being a threat to national security. I mean, it is quite literally. This guy would probably sell out national security secrets to the Russians, if they came over and immigrated here and started asking him. All they have to do is send over some Russian agent who looks like that, and he will start spilling. I mean, his phone password in his will just like magically come out of his mouth, and he'll let them read this text, which we've seen so much of. All right, anyway, speaking of X, launched Grok this week, and I have got access to Grok 3, and it's actually pretty decent. I actually tricked it into writing me code that could be a keylogger that's remote, and then we'll upload the data to Google Forms. So after this, I'm going to compile it. I wrote it for Windows and see if it works. So this should be interesting. But let's see what Grok 3 can do. It has these new features called Deep Search and Think. I haven't used Think yet, but I have used Deep Search. Deep Search is pretty interesting. It has been able to analyze TheTechBoy.org. It even accesses websites for you, and it will tell you who or what it is doing something. So it actually does research on the internet, browses the internet for you, and then does a nice little summary of it for you. It's also really, really good at coding with Python. Unfortunately, image generation still has the same problems. Like I asked it to generate something, see if it works better. Maybe we can switch back Ava over to it. Nope, still has the same shiny problem that Grok 2 had before it. So image generation still terrible on Grok 3. But I mean, I'm about to do a video about MSN, Microsoft Network, from when it formed in the early 90s to what it is now as the Edge homepage and as the mobile application. It gave me some interesting key facts about MSN that I didn't get from ChatGPT. I want to think of a demo that we can do with it. I actually remember the demo. So let me pull it up. I uploaded a draft copy of the SSA book. It must be an older draft copy because it forgot all about the entire, interview where, remember on November 9th, 2022, when all the kids are like basically interrogating me, and then that interview tape gets leaked to the press in Mali, and Valerie are trying to extract the information out of Ethan Shea, right? And trying to see if his stances will mesh with the politics and Glory High, etc. Right? They try to get a statement about banning crop tops and etc. Right? Apparently, it didn't get things about that. But I did have a really, really interesting conversation with Grok 3 about this, and it's been the most interesting conversation I've had with any artificial intelligence chat box with any artificial intelligence chatbot. So let me see if I can find it. So somehow it's on the grok.com website, and it basically firewalls your chats when you go to x.com and you use the Grok, and then firewalls them off from the chat here. So I have to actually go to the grok.com. Here it is. It titled it something weird: political satire in high school politics. And I had it try to convert my book into a movie. So we're going to be reading the script here. It says it can be 75 pages, 100-page long script for a movie. First script was really, really short. So anyway, I asked you the first question. What are the political jokes in this book? Because there's a lot of them hidden inside the book. Like, well, you should just go read the book yourself, or if Grok tells you any of them, it should. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a good job of that. So, but it does allow uploading PDFs, which I'm glad for now, right? It's a really, really long PDF as well, 75 pages, or maybe even 100 pages. I'm not sure. It's 100 pages as an ebook copy, at least on my phone. So guys, make sure you go check that out. But it goes through Ethan's fundraisers, the prom obsession, the rally attack, the Ethan's expectancy. And you guys go into what Ethan Shea, who in the real world he's based off of, right? Actually, I think I might share this as well. And we asked for the funniest moments in the book, right? So here we go. As to say, election, the funniest moments in the book. I think this is right. I think it hit the spot on. The rally attack, chapter 6, pages 36 to 37. I do like how it cites exactly where it found in the book. So this is the first rally attack in the book when people, we don't know who, attack the rally with a Nerf gun and a water drone attack at Woods Area Mall. Like we said, this is based on Woods Edge Mall out in the Woodlands. We have video of that will be going online soon. It tells us why it's funny. Then it gets to the Communist Campaign Speech, chapter 5, pages 32 to 36. Just page 32 to 36, where Elijah compares himself to the supreme communist dictator of GCA. I forgot about this moment. And it's nice that Grok brought it back to my remembrance. So this is before the rallies and everything. This is actually even before Ethan's first rally. This is when all the candidates are announcing their candidacy. So Geneva announces that she's going to be running for vice president. Ethan Shea announces that he's going to be running for president of GCA. Allison is announced as interim president, etc. All right, the roller skating chase. This was actually a really funny scene. Now, where Vera and Molly and Elijah all tripping over each other trying to steal a camera. Well, except for Vera. Sydney is narrating the disaster. Right there, Valley trips. Vera rolls over. Molly smacking Denver in the face with the shoe. Chapter 22, page 126. Again, very funny. The basketball blowout where Sydney spins historic game as the 1,200 plus increase in baskets, where Glory High is lost 121 to 24, and then I guess Pelicans might have been a typo by me because I don't think I said that. In Ethan's Rare's investigation, pages 25 to 27, and the blonde laundering, like we said, literally blonde laundering, where Allison calls Ethan a blonde launderer during the debate for prompting his retorts about eating the cats and the goldfish in Molly's rally attack. Blonde money laundering is what it thinks blonde laundering stands for. That's not what it stands for, but it's funny. And Elijah's election fraud meltdown. That was also very, very funny. All right, but I do think that it missed some of the things, like some of the debate moments. The debate moments are very, very funny, right? But I do like how it explains it, it breaks it down, it goes through it. I think it's even better than ChatGPT when it does this as well. All right, then we talk about the funniest quotes. Blonde laundry, I've seen Pelicans play better than them, from Sydney. That was in reference to Elijah. His IQ is about the freezing point of water in Europe. That was one of the funniest quotes, I will say to that. You should switch, but hey, you're all right. It's so bad at this. It's almost an art. The volleyball team would have won with just a fart. Chapter 22, page 130. Yep, that is a funny quote, and yes, AI did write that because I didn't come up with that. All right, the election was stolen, the machines were hacked via satellite internet terminals, and hanging charged in the deep state. Elijah, chapter 26, page 149. Yes, that is funny. What are you doing on the floor? Anyway, I asked the teacher if it was okay to throw a hydro flask at him, and she said it was okay, so I did it. Molly, chapter 23, page 134. That is funny, and that's an actual quote. So, well, quote-ish. Quiet with your boy math, Ethan Shea. I'm going to teach you some politics and math taxes, Valerie. Chapter 23, page 132. So, it has some quotes in it that even I forgot about, and I even, wrote the book. As president, I will promise I will never give you up. I'll let you down. Ethan, chapter 27, page 152. So, Grok did a great job of scanning through all this, finding all the references in here. Now, I did ask for some funny debate moments. It keeps talking about the blonde laundering thing. Blonde laundering is funny, but is it really funny enough that you mentioned 3 times? And you be the judge of that, Grok. All right. Ethan roasts Elijah's IQ. We've already been through this. The final debate, where Everett is floating with the cheerleaders and then he gets tackled. That is funny. All right. Vera's roller skating ring. Ethan calls out the puppet candidates. The Riz investigation. Sydney's media chaos, etc., etc. Maybe I'll share this. Yeah, I can share this with you guys, so you guys can read through this. So, because it keeps repeating some of the things, but it is funny. It is fun, funny things. So, then we asked you to do some analysis. So essentially, analyze outside of the book, and it actually figures out how the analysis actually worked in real life. Of course, this didn't actually happen. I didn't ever go on high speed chases with people. Like I wasn't going on some electric scooter. I don't even have an electric scooter. I don't live in the woodlands. So this book is like all fiction, but the SSLTW series is not fiction, right? It's true. Historical fiction, I guess. But it actually does compare and contrast the relationship between Ethan and Allison. We predict that they'd be friends later after the election. It does a pretty good job of what's to be expected. So um, it compares how they're similar, and I didn't even think about this as well, but they both have leadership ambition. They both want to be POGUS, right? And it even cites what it stands for. Chapter 1, page 7, where Addison, 13 years old, and steps as interim president and continues to mentors Lisa's legacy. Chapter 5, page 26. Strategic minds. They both have strategic abilities, and Addison really wasn't supposed to be written to be the mastermind of everything. They're supposed to be Molly. Molly's supposed to be like the villain, strategic villain. But it even finds some things what Addison has done here. So we find, of course, SSA and GNN for for Ethan Shea, and of course allying with Geneva. But then we also see, the plan with Vera that is kind of hidden undercover. Allison does make that plan with Vera as a vote splitting decoy, and she does lean on Marty's aggression and Valley's media interference, right? And you even see some of the citations in here. And you can go in and you guys can go read the book by yourself. Chapter 5, page 31, chapter 23, page 134. Of course, since this is a draft, it might be a bit off on whatever your e-reader says. The crowd appeal. They both have charisma. They both have speeches, the fundraisers, and prom and free events, etc. The resilience. They both have the storms. Both their rallies are attacked, and neither of them drop out. All right, so then you have the different just experience. Ethan, 12th grader, new Addison, 13-year veteran. Vision scope. What we're talking about is to be a president of all Glorians, wide band versus narrow band, and Addison laser focused on Trump, narrow band, right there. It even cites narrow band right there on the page, chapter 4, page 18. So it's really getting into this. Now, it does accuse Ethan of driving on spectacle, accuses Addison of being kind of institutionalized. Ethan brass, unhinged, blonde laundering retort, which it does get confused, Ethan and who called him a blonde launderer. So that is something. But we've never seen this level of analysis of this book. I've done it in multiple AI platforms. ChatGPT, Claude. I don't think Copilot allows foul uploads like this. And then the moral compasses. It does accuse Ethan of playing dirty, but it says with just cause, exposing the rally attack. I wouldn't think that was playing dirty, like spying on the people. Would it be illegal? What do you guys think? To spy on a high school candidate's campaign, as long as you don't break any laws. What do you think? That's your question for today. All right, and then it accuses Allison of being complicit in shadier moves. So I believe, and I wrote the book, so I get to pick whatever I want. I believe that it just basically plays Allison as she's focused on other things, while Molly and Valerie are just rigging the election. So she's not really complicit, but Grok thinks she's complicit. So who am I to stand, or who am I to argue with Grok? I mean, sure, I did write the book, but who am I to argue with Grok? All right, do you think they'll be friends after the election? So after it breaks it down for everybody, I'm just checking to see if any chat messages. No chat messages. All right. If it breaks it down for everybody, it says that they have mutual respect post-election, right? The victory speech, I will not seek retribution, etc., and he says good luck, face sensibility. They both have a passion for glory high. They have real-life friendship, Q, which is basically based off the prologue. I'm friends with all the people in this book in real life, etc. And then high school amnesia, teen drama fades fast. True-ish. The chaotic win, Addison's grateful concession. So it gives me some real reasons. I'm going to pick 3 of these: the passion, the mutual respect, and high school amnesia. I'm not going to pick that one because that's basically cheating. And it says lingering resentments, clashing styles, power dynamics, and then it basically takes all of this and it says that they become casual friends, not be obsessed but friendly enough, and leans towards reconciliation. And I say yes, that's absolutely correct. All right, so we're going to move in. The cats and the goldfish moment. It thinks this book was written before June of 2024, which is no. Then you have the debate chaos, blonde laundry. It keeps going on and on about blonde laundry. Good grief. And then I ask it to rank the characters by their intelligence. And I think it does a really interesting job. So we have Ethan Shea ranks them by he's the most intelligent. I mean, thank you, I guess. He says he builds SSA, he launches GNN, the counter Hawk News, he allies with Geneva, his various investigation and questing that database, he outsmarts Allison to votes for Floyd Villa, and he turns chaos to rally attack into campaign fuel, winning the well, did he win? Who knows? Someone wins the election 226 to 140, proving that they are no fluke. So there we go. Ethan Shea, 9 out of 10. I think it gave him a 9 out of 10. It gives him, and then it lists the evidence here. I have my own spider chambers, which establishes a link between the Elite 8 and Hawk News. I will unlock a path to self-determination. Chapter 25, page 144. Gives him a score of 9 out of 10. Only losing a point because of paranoia of risks to national security threat. Chapter 5, chapter 25. Allison is a shrewd veteran, leveraging her 13-year tenure. They count the point of her, working with Vera to split the votes. And she says, quote, I have a vision for the school, chapter 25, page 143. So it gives her a score of 8 out of 10, but too rigid to adapt fully. So essentially what it's thinking is Ethan's chaos campaign is so good that Allison, hasn't been able to keep up. So only docks 2 points off of that. Again, I think this is smart, but I was expecting to see Molly and Geneva and Valerie up here a little bit further, but it actually sees the character development that Allison has that I definitely intentionally put into the book. It's not accidentally a good book, obviously. And then we have Geneva, smart enough to pivot from presidential hopeful to bro. Are you just gonna cite ERB songs? President hopeful something stock and truth social or whatever. To Ethan's VP, securing cheerleader votes. Chapter 4, and it says, I saw something in you. You win the presidency, endorse Ava, and make me your VP. You've done more for me than I could have ever imagined. Chapter 26, page 145. 7 out of 10, strategic, but relies on Ethan's momentum, which is fine. Okay, this isn't a book about Geneva and her friends. Okay, this isn't GCAM and the election. No, this is Ethan Shea's election. All right. And then we have Valerie. I thought it might have Valerie up there as number 10 because, like, in real life, manipulating teachers to waste class time to yap about John, the book of John, it is pretty smart. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I condemn that fully. But it was funny to see this smart Catholic kid pretending not to know who the Apostle John was for 25 minutes. Okay. Anyway, Valerie, he's a sneaky reporter of Hawk News and possibly the Elite 8. She orchestrates the rally attacks. He says, I'm a reporter, what can I do? Spark a war? Live reporting from a disaster. So they think that Valerie's execution was sloppy, so they only gave her a 6, which is wild. I thought her execution was pretty good in the book. But, what do I know? It's not like I wrote this book. Then we say Molly, but it's fine. I actually can see this because it's not like Molly did much. I mean, the debates were funny. And she is violent. So I guess Grog doesn't think that violence is smart. So if you smack kids in the face with hydro flasks and if you throw shoes at them, I guess you lose points here. So that's there. All right. Elijah, again, funny. All right. He's yapping about this election was stolen, satellite internet terminals, freedom to communism. He's creative recluse. Yeah, true. There we go. There's a 3. And for some reason, he gives Denver a 3. A 3. I mean, he doesn't even talk much. So I think what's happening here is, yes, I think the beginning analysis, top 5 from Molly to Ethan Shea was actually smart. It was actually well thought out. But then Elijah, but Denver here, he just doesn't talk much in the book. So they're not going to think he's very smart. Like asking what bushes, sir? Okay. I'm pretty sure that Denver is a lot smarter than this guy who's up here running a communist election in a Christian school, but what do I know? Okay. A 2 out of 10 is crazy. Now it is ranking them, it's not giving them IQs, so that is good. But then when you get to the funniest, Elijah, communism in a high school election, yapping about crop tops and stolen elections, taking jabs and satellite internet terminals is actually kind of funny. So gives him a 9 out of 10. Ethan Shea, deadpan absurdity. I don't know how attacking drones is thing, but here's a message to Christy. Also, again, Christy, look, Ethan Shea here got a 2 for his quote deadpan absurdity. This proves that you don't need a flannel, you don't need a camera, and you don't need any of that to have deadpan absurdity. And Ethan Shea is just better than Matt Walsh in this book and in real life at deadpan. Okay, so let this be a lesson to you. And if you're live posting at me right now, I will post back. Okay. Oh wow, she liked the post. Well, we're cooked. Cooked. At least more people in the United States can find your country than all the people in your country. So there's that. Let that be a lesson to you. Anyway, half of it was spent eating the cats and the goldfish. I promise I'll never give you up. Just the line "eating the cats and the goldfish" should give you more points. But I do agree with Elijah. Molly's violent pettiness. That's kind of funny. Going on throwing hydro flask at people and asking for permission. That is funny. So yeah, there we go. Sydney again. I guess she's not intelligent because she didn't even get ranked. So sorry, Sydney. Sure, you created your own web show, but you're not smart. You blonde laundry. All right. Anyway, Valerie. Yeah, she's kind of funny in small doses, but she's all business. And Allison, she's not that funny. Denver, not funny because he doesn't talk much in this book. I'm not sure how getting this shoe smacked is your fault. I mean, sure he did poison her water, but whatever. And then even makes it into a table, which is so smart. ChatGPT would not do this. It makes intelligence funny and gives some quick notes. And I guess Geneva doesn't have comics. Oh, okay. So the smartest and funniest, Ethan. Dumbest and funniest, Elijah. Smart but not funny, Allison. Funny but not smart, Molly. All right, there we go. And then I ask it to edit some stuff, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to say it to all here. And then it actually tries to give me the unfilled popularity trend of the election, which is great from the arrival until you see the numbers. So you see 5, 7, I guess they have no popularity. 30, 60, 10, 15. How can you have 115% popularity? If Allison is 60% popular in the polls, could you imagine if you had, people up there running the elections, hitting the TVs? They're like, all right, President Elijah has 10% popularity in the polls, with Allison with the commanding lead of 60%, and Ethan Shea has the remaining 30%. But also Vera somehow has 15%. It just doesn't exist. And it's an imaginary number. All right, Ethan Shea is catching up in the polls with 40%. Allison fell down 5%. Elijah staying steady at 10%, and Vera at 15%, which gives you an extra 10% that somehow doesn't exist around here. All right, and then you say at the debate in chapter 20, Elijah has risen to 15%. Vera also rising to 20% of 15%, and now Ethan and President Allison are tied. How can you be tied at 50%, and then you have 35% here? And then you show the percentages towards the end, 62, 38, 5, and 5. I think that's from internal numbers because those numbers actually make sense and look good. Ooh, let's see. I'm getting tweeted at. Oh, no. Okay. All right. And then it gives some explanations. Let's get in here. So in chapter 20, the first debate, Ethan ties Allison because of his cats and goldfish from mark and attack accusations. The crowd buzzes. Allison with her blonde laundering flub weakens her. Elijah's just there. Vera gains from visibility, citing from page 31. Vera's skating rink rally kind of. Well, I just think that the skating rink rally. I mean, if you had an attack at a skating rink like that, that's just sad. And you have the final debate and final rally, and you can try. I try to make a line graph. It doesn't do that. And then I ask which debates were the funniest. So the Hawk News presidential debate. Eating the cats and eating the goldfish. He thinks that's the funniest. Of course, it's gone on about this for like 5 times, but fine. Then you have the Vera's roller skating rink rally, which isn't a debate, so Grok still messes up. The final debate rally, retribution's on the ballot, and then I say all you cheerleaders look fine, and then they get tackled. Here's just a puppet candidate. Polling numbers are at 1%. 1%. Does that look like a 15 or a 5, Grok? Does that look like a 15? Vera, I'm not so fake. Hashtag I'm so real. And then Ethan and Everett combined together to say, we reached levels of corny I didn't think were possible. Because I think that's a mess up. Because I think it's going to be Elijah and Everett. Because why would Ethan debate Vera and Everett? So he really likes eating the cat's eating the goldfish blonde laundering line because it's been going on about that for 5 minutes. And then we asked about crushes, and it gets the vibe from the book. No, I even asked the deeper. It sees no romantic evidence, which makes Grok smarter than literally every high schooler in America. Okay, you take one picture next to one person, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys dating? Are you people insane? Like, what's wrong with you people?" Okay, or like people be analyzing. Oh wow, like, they unfollowed each other on Instagram. Break up a little. But Grok is smart. Okay, even from all the accusations, Grok can see accusations, and he can say no. There's no proof of these accusations. So if Grok 3 existed when I was in high school, we would have used this as litigation. All right, anyway, we say then we asked about Blonde Gate. It asks all the we asked. I guess it lists all the blonde characters. No, Allison's not blonde. I guess I didn't see the artwork for the book. All right, great. Let me see the top speeches in the election. I do like how it cites the speeches off. So I'm going to read these speeches out to you guys, and you guys can think. Do you think it ranks the speeches? Also, it really loves Ethan Shea. Ethan Shea is number one in almost everything here. Students of GCA, my name is Ethan Shea. I'm running to be the next president. I'm running to be president of Alcoy High, improve the economy, fundraisers, and have a plan to make events free. We will have so much revenue that we have special elections to decide what we have to spend the money on. We will fund new clubs, new events, new uniforms. I plan to help to empower back to the people by supporting independent creators. We'll fund GNN, which will bring real news to you all. And to the 12th graders, we must have a legacy for the school. We will leave our mark by having special projects to make the school better than before. Let's make this school safer, more prosperous, and greater. And in order to do that, I'm giving my full endorsement to Geneva VP, Clarissa, and Maria as senators, and Ava for secretary. God bless you, and God bless Glory Christian Academy. All right, there we go. Chapter 5, pages 26 to 27. Like something. Ethan Shea's final rally speech teaches him asking for your vote. No gimmicks, no random C-SPAN esque quotes, no ridiculous references to my kindergarten achievements. This cold, hard facts will support a new, honest media, GNN, and champion independent creators within the school. I was to give funding to fundraisers for the most incredible prom of all time. I will lead votes to allow you to have determined the amazing free events that we can enjoy leading up to that day. And I will never charge freshmen extra money to attend school functions. I will also support our cheer, basketball, and football teams, and with fresh funding and Kickstarter initiatives to bring technology to our school. I can brought you, and let's face it, under Addie's leadership, the geopolitical state of this school has devolved. Wars on the rise, bullying is rampant, and the government is bloated in exchange for nothing more than free snacks. I will unlock a path to self-determination for our school. I will make it safe. I will make it great. And together we will make the greatest, most prosperous, and most fun school year we've ever had. I guarantee it. God bless you, and may God bless Glory Christian Academy. All right. I do think this is one of the most important speeches because it still keeps to win. Well, you guys know when. All right, great. 22, 26 to 140. The crowd of ups and despairs. No C-SPAN S quotes. Now, it does get this wrong. The C-SPAN S quote is essentially referring to President Alley in the last debate with him says something like, you don't like women, and then Ethan says something like, yes, I do, I have a whole team, and she's like, oh, bind this fool, and then Ethan says, wait, why are you citing random C-SPAN as quotes? So Allie's the one over here citing C-SPAN quote. There's also a quote from some 2000s movie in here. All right, memorability, cold hard facts, most incredible prom, or punchy, and geopolitical state has unforgettable satire. Though the geopolitical state of GTA was crumbling in this book. It does not link this speech to essentially an entire attack on Addison, right? It does not link the speech to, yes, we're going to have prom, yes, we're going to make money, and yes, Addison was terrible at this. It does. Right there. All right, yeah, so, yeah, great job. All right, here's the next final speech. Elijah's kickoff speech. Good day, GTA. My name is Elijah, and I'll be running for to be supreme communist dictator, blah, 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 free food, all about farmers. I will allow animals in the school, change the dress code to allow crop tops, and eliminate half the rules in the book, and we should include middle school and expand the electorate, freedom from communism or something. Thank you, GCA. It just thinks it's funny because and then Ethan says victory speech. You guys can go read that for yourself in the book. Addison's final rally speech. Thank you, Vera. This election is important students to want to continue the legacy of President Lisa, but even bigger and better. Or do you want to gamble on uncharted territory with an untested, unproven candidate? I've been here for 13 years and I'll fight for you on behalf of all of you. And while Ethan will only fight for power, I have a vision for the school to advance it into the future. I want all of you to have the best prom you can possibly imagine. That's why I'm humbly asking for your vote. It's strong, but losing. It thanks Vera. It's straight. It's unleashed, but it's strong and concise with Vera's backup. All right, so that's what I think is the best speech. I would say yes. This is exactly what I would say. And I do think that Grok would be a great friend because it is on. It understands idiosyncrasies in this book, not as much as I would like it to, but a lot better than ChatGPT with its stupid responses about the book. I mean, I've talked to ChatGPT about this book, and it's basically getting the same thing. And also, I'm not getting any errors. I'm not getting timeouts. It's the same check. And I asked what role did religion play in this book, And uh, you talk about upholding the Constitution. Besides there being no such document, speeches. It's all in God bless you. Casual mentioned. It does get this mention from this debate. Quote: "It's a Christian school. Use statistics." Uh, that's from the blonde laundering thing. Values God bless from the school news. And Eveton's role model in God we trust. Trust U.S. pledge until battle cry. What? In God we trust is not in the United States pledge. But okay. Um, and then ask role and character motivations. It isn't a deep personal driver for the characters, which I find to be interesting. But it does rank Ethan say as most Christian, I guess. I guess it thinks he's playing the game. Whatever. Alright. Satirical lens, plot impact, campaign tone, overall. Alright, let me ask. The tape. It doesn't ask and then it gets confused about the tape. So this is the November 9th tape. Right? It doesn't know what I'm talking about there. Then we try to ask. Alright, so here is the movie. So I'm gonna scroll through the first draft because yeah, this is the first draft of the movie. So it's so short. It is so short. Wait, how could this be a movie? If you can read your entire movie on a podcast, that's sad. All right, here we go. So I ask it. I have not seen this yet, but it's saying this movie should take 2 hours, 120 minutes, 120 pages worth. Now, I don't know how it's supposed to fit 120 pages in there, but here we go. This is saying that this first act is 40 pages, called Act 1, The New Kid's Gambit, and I think we have a lot of work to do here. A lot of work. All right. Here's first, it gives me the camera shot, so that's great. Day 1 at Glory Christian Academy. I'm Ethan Shane, I got a mission. I don't know why he's setting up Ethan like this is a vlog. Like, why is he pulling up in a car and, like, live streaming himself? But it does have that, I guess, the old-fashioned intro. He hops out, camera panning, cheerleaders to a node, trips into a locker, which, if this is inside, why are the cheerleaders dancing? Like, isn't, like, in all the high school movies, they're all supposed to be, like, outside, but whatever. In Principal Harris, 50th Stern, Barks orders. Okay. First impressions, feudal system. Cheerleaders are nobility, jocks and knights, no just serfs. I'm the rogue knight here to storm the castle. I don't know why it turned this book into 1300s-esque story. Okay, this isn't a romantic story. There's literally no romantic intrigue in this book at all. And apparently people are throwing footballs inside the school. So, this book is supposed to be a bit outside of realism. This just is, like, what? Okay, and then it cuts to at some table, jocks arm wrestling, nerds trading Pokemon cards. Again, this was never in the book. Okay, this is a 100+ page book. There's more than enough information in here for Grok to make a readable story. Like I said, let's expand. Maybe we can focus a bit more on Ethan Say's home life. Have a bit more interpersonal interactions. But it's just what. And then Denver comes in. He says, "Hey, you're new, right? Sitting solo." Denver 14 braces awkward, slides over with a tray of soggy fries. Okay, Ethan say, "Yeah, new, you 9th grade. Saw you scoping. What tripped the phone?" And Ethan says, "Great." And then Ethan just, I guess, says, "Spicer from running for president. Focus. We need agents for the Shay Spy Agency, which is definitely not what SSA stands for." And then he says, "President of what?" And SSA. And we go to here. And I guess he zooms in. How big do you think this lunchroom is? Like, it's like, yeah, that's definitely realistic. Definitely happened. And he cuts to Miss Scott. Student council's kickoffs Friday. Elections November 9th. Declare now if you're running. Ethan's hand shoots up. I declare Ethan for president. Allison raises her hand. Cold as ice. Allison for president too. Geneva nods to Marty. Geneva. I don't know why, but like, okay. Geneva for vice president. Marty smokes. Sure, Allie. Ethan locks eyes with Allison. Sparks fry. Speech is Friday. Prep your friends. Secretary. Senators needed. Why is he speaking and barking these commands like he's in the military? Use English. Okay, this is supposed to be a movie. We're moving so quickly through this book. And then Ethan says, "Well, Ethan's got a posse. We need one too." Okay. Again, I don't know what it is with this royalty-esque vibe that Grok is trying to go for, but sure. Then we got page 16 to 25. Building the team. Into the library. Day. Ethan meets Geneva, flanked by Ava, Maria, and Clarissa, Artsy, all cheerleaders. Don't know where I got that from, but sure. I was gonna run for president, Ethan, but you got something. Deal. Win, make me VP, Ava secretary. Qualifications, head cheerleaders, do got vet. I got cheer votes locked. Plus, I beat Allison last year. Close call. Impressive. Policies, new news agency, GNN to take on Hawk News. More computers, volleyball funds. I'm on the team. Why is she speaking in sentences like this? But sure, I mean, this is supposed to be a movie. Keep the dialogue going. This is not a slideshow presentation. Here are my qualifications. Anyway, they pose back. To back, a shadowy figure with the endoscopes next to a blurry shot through the glass. No hands, dating rumors on national security threat. Confused. National security, Ava giggles, Maria rolls her eyes. Whatever happened to Armada? Okay, I guess, she just got written out the entire freaking movie. Ethan, Ava, Maria, prep GNN. Ethan Paces intense. Core tenants, fundraisers, free events, fundraisers for clubs, GNN, runners, not Hawks, volleyball support, Geneva's in, weird types, Ava designs supposed to Ethan Shea for GCA. Elite age vicious class campaigns with Insta leaks. English? You don't have to cite which page this is from. That's why we got to say Denver Scouting, Jasper Security, Jasper No Tinkers with the Nerf Gun, Jasper Lock and Loaded, Boss, Ethan Grant, James Foreman. Then they cut from page 14 to page 26. How are you supposed to have a whole movie with this Grok? Crowd buzzers, cheerleaders, wave pom-poms, jocks chant. I don't remember this happening. They just invented an entire rally for the. Okay, fine. Okay, that's good. That's good. They invented an entire rally for them announcing the candidates. No incumbent, Addison's interment until November 9th. Candidates, go. And I guess the candidates just start quite wheeling up to the mics. Ethan's the mic. Stand to GCA, Ethan say. Then he says his speech. The crowd cheers explodes. Ethan, City, blonde, ring light glowing, famous, Valerie, 17, sharp glares from Hawk News. I'm Addison, 13 years here. I've seen it all. Lisa's promise I've got fight for the greatest farm ever. Awesome food, music for Addison. Okay, so don't know why you cut the speeches. This is a movie. We need runtime here. Okay, I've been reading this and it's been like 2 minutes. Collapse Ripple, Vera to Mike, Vera, Seek God and all we do. I need respite. God bless. Yeah, I'm sure she said more than that. Elijah, my sister Mike, good JGCA, Supreme Communist, blah blah blah. They talk about the dress code changes. Ethan says he's a foil. Watch him. Then we cut to 10 pages for some reason called First Strike. Ethan hands out flyers. QR codes, Jen and Sydney live stream. Sydney on camera. Ethan Shea, rising star. Exclusive. Spill it. Who talks like this? Today was a color VP. Focus, context. Shannon's coming. Real news, not Hawk lies. Hawk News mic thrust in. Very smug. Ethan, you're up against Allison, 13-year-old legend. Got a shot? Absolutely. I got the vision. Fundraisers. Unity. God bless GCA. Why? Why would he say that? But okay. Valerie Smokes typing furiously. Ethan's Addison across the quad, whispering to Molly. Royalties plotting. There we go again with the same royalty theme. And then was just like hanging around. So yes, this entire act was like 40 minutes. You can't take 40 minutes when you cut 10 pages off of everything. Okay, so the entire act is supposed to be like, what, to page 36? You cut 10 pages out twice, so you only have 16 pages. And not 16 full pages of dialogue, because some of the pages on description. It's more like 8 pages, and these people are delivering dialogue into one. And it's more like this. Let's skip Act 2 so we can read Act 3. Oh my gosh. Act 2 is literally a paragraph. Marvel, CSM tape leak. Skating rink pile up. Lunchroom low. Basketball bust. This is not a script. This is a PowerPoint. Final debate rally. Election night victory. And then you have the expanded notes. God bless. Etc. So Grok maybe get a bit better from that. But it is really great at coding. Really, really good at coding. I was able to get it to code some type of game. Unfortunately, I tried to get it like a code that could generate a maze. Not amazing at all. But Grok, really interesting here. Nice look at SSLTW. Best analysis I've ever done so far. Don't have the application yet. Oh yeah, some more things to talk about. So let's see if I can find my. Let's see from TheTechBoy.org. I'm gonna do okay. I saw this teen movie. All right, let's see if I can find the quote. I'm trying to find the quote of these kids from some teen movie. Uh, yes, Tubi. So everyone knows about the February 8th. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can search through my media. Why is it not searching in order? That's it? Let's see if I can find it. Search media. Ah, here it is. Oh, nope, not again. I need to find the caption. Oh, here it is. So yes, you know in those teen movies where they have those, where they have the teen girl and like her two secret service agent friends, and it's like she's kind of mean, but she has like those one. He has like that one friend who could like kind of stands around with her. Oh, this reminds me of one thing. There's this movie called Zapped. Hopefully, I can see you guys on this thing. There's this movie called Zapped, and this person gets power to control boys. And what do you do with such power? Do you use it to become student council president, forcing every boy in school to vote for you? Do you use it to, you know, become president of the United States, essentially rewriting the Constitution to allow 16-year-olds to run by getting all the male Congress members to vote yes, getting on the radio, and then causing a constitutional amendment, which will cause all the male voters to say yes, getting the required amount of states to say yes, and then convincing the Supreme Court that it's legal by getting on the radio to hear it on the radio, and and they say yes, and you have this app, and then you run for president, you get all the votes you need because you get all the men to vote for you. No, no. That's not what you do. Okay, do you get it? No, this person used it entirely, and I kid you not, to get people to clean up their room, and then like get some boy to like her, kind of. Or you also get people to have good dance moves. Yes, that's great. Absolutely great. Yes, use the most powerful technology in the history of of um of Earth to allow people to like you a bit more. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna. Why? Why? Um. Let's see if I can find my Instagram story because these people are stupid. Wait, where is it? I'm trying to find the story about uh oh, I think it's oh, here it is. Yes, guys, here it is from the Tech War Media. From Allie, not Beth Stuckey, different Allie. I'm gonna show you guys this on the screen. There's now an app where you can review your ex-boyfriends, and I can't see this going well. I mean, the power of high school. Jupiter Crits has extended past 12th grade now. With this application, where you can review ex-boyfriends. I mean, it's over, people. It is so over. Review for just why would any man be on that app? Like, why? I mean, think about it. This is essentially what happens in high school via iMessage. Well, great. The power of GCam in high school extends even further to the 30s with the day rating. I mean, why is it when people get this exponentially great technology, the internet, or in this movie, this app that allows you to control men? Right? I mean, this one kid has a tiny bit of ambition. Right? She gets these people to bring her in on a chair, and then for some reason, he gets the entire men in the basketball arena to bow down to her, which is, again, what a waste of power. You have this power to literally be able to run the world with this app. And you have the power of the internet to do great things, and yet you use it to rank men and I guess get them to date you. What a waste! An absolute waste. And not to think that women are that men are exempt from this, right? Sure, these fictional women are using this to get men to clean up their rooms and rank them, but men are also using this technology, the internet, to look at random women from other dictatorship countries that are cold and are probably quite literally threatening United States national security. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. So we can talk about this next image later. God bless. Tech Talk.